Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome. That's my little rendition of G's intro. Yes, the Draft Beat boys are here taking over after a very, very big win against Indiana in the NBA Cup, nonetheless. So go ahead and count this as a playoff victory, if you will. But first...
Wait, Moose.
What? Yes.
Did you say Draft Beat?
It feels like the draft. Draft beat.
This is how I thought we were actually going to start.
Draft beat. Draft. It feels like the draft.
Ah, yes, the Draft Beat intro. I love it. Just another reminder of how happy I am after every single win that we get farther and farther away from the lottery. But we're not talking about that tonight because, boys, the NBA Cup is within our grasp. Finally, the Miami Heat have pulled off their first victory in the NBA Cup for this year. And we're going to talk about it. And we're especially going to talk about Bam's incredible performance. But I want to go around the room first and introduce yourselves and pick your player of the game. Let's start over here, Mr. Saucy Takez. How you doing? Who was your player of the game?
I'm doing great. We
Light the beam.
look at the thing. Player of the game is 13. 13. He's out of his slump. Bam Adebayo. Welcome to the NBA. Welcome to the United States NBA season. He cooked in Mexico.
Finally showed up for the season.
Yeah. All it took was Miles Turner to get him going. Who would have fucking thunk? Just showed up today, man. Showed up.
Guy.
Yeah, he fucking despises him. Showed up to play some actual basketball today. That's Bam out of the bayou, man. Incredible.
Yeah, an incredible second half performance. I mean, the offense was lacking in the first half, but I mean, in general, he was involved in every aspect of the game all night. He was everywhere. Franky, how are you doing? Say hello, and please give me your player of the game.
I'm sorry. Lou said 13, and I just know Attorney General nominee and Miami Heat beat fan Matt Gaetz was like, where? Sorry.
Matt Gaetz, we hate to admit it, but somebody had to buy the drip drop shirts, so I appreciate him.
Somebody else bought the cereal too. Player of the game's got to be Bam. Great to see him step up. Team high plus 22 as well. Matt Gaetz doesn't like that. 30 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, an efficient scoring night, 8 for 9 from the line. It felt the first 10 games we were watching Shaq shoot him up again. What a great game from him and everybody really. Kevin Love, Highsmith, everybody had. Tyler had somewhat of a slow game today, but he was due and he's carried them. But everybody else pretty much had a great game, so it was great to see. What about you, Moose? Who was your player of the game?
Listen, we've been talking about him all night. It's hard not to go with Bam, but how are you going to go with Bam when it's Tyler Hero? I told you from the beginning, okay? This is usually when you... Tyler Hero is finally your boy. He's the best player on this team. He is a lead.
Anyways, Lou, we were talking about this last time, but Niko with the mask, what a performance out of him. Friend of the show, Leche's Agenda, sent me these gifts of what he looked like, and I'm bringing Moose back in.
I was hosting. Here's the thing. It's finally...
Okay, we're gonna let Moose get off the show, but in true Stream Beat fashion, Leche's Agenda gave Niko a shout out of what that injury was last game. We have a Marsha Brady situation here. Oh, the plague doctor himself. Niko Jovic, what a performance out of him. 11 points, 6 rebounds. And Moose, he brought the energy today, man. Just running the break. He got them going, got some easy buckets. I'm glad to see he's okay, first and foremost. But Man,
excellent to see him out
fun
there.
times.
I'm a huge fan actually of the face mask look, like with any player. I think it's just a great look. It's intimidating. You know, it brings an extra like to the court. But what I will say is that my favorite aspect of for the chat, Niko, aka the White Plague. What I will say, my favorite aspect of his game is when he's running the break. It just unlocks everything for this team in transition. And he had one in particular bounce pass tonight to Jaime Jaquez that was just absolutely incredible. Carla Tiana says, "Can we pull a Nancy Kerrigan on Terry?" Her words, not mine. But
What a reference. Lou has no idea what that means.
I don't know who Nancy is, but I'm with it.
Oh, you don't
Sorry,
know that
Bruce, go
story?
ahead.
You should Google it. Great documentary that we'll cover on Draft Beat or Stream Beat. Any one of the beats. My point is that I just love when he's running the break. You see like a different style of Jovic this year in the sense that he's just a lot more confident. I think he understands what he needs to do to stay out on the court. And what I mean by that is be active, keep the ball moving, get everybody involved. I think when he's in that point forward position, that's really where, you know, he can unlock other things for other players, but is just also the most beneficial and most efficient version of the Nikola Jovic that we need on this team.
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
Today in particular, like, it's funny, like, Niko gets quote unquote benched and plays the most minutes he's played all season today.
Right.
Like, you know, there's something that needs to be said when you just like put him alongside players that help him accentuate his game instead of fucking pigeonholing him to a spot up shooter. He took 4 threes today, only made 1. It doesn't fucking matter because that's not the strength of his game. He can play a role, but today he was just being himself, running the floor.
He was comfortable today.
The only thing he didn't do better than anybody else today was wear the mask because Jimmy today, by the way.
Do we have that, Frankie?
Not yet. I'll pull it.
Okay. Because that was a great look. Yeah.
Sensational, Mr. Butler. I will say, if he's on the bench wearing that mask all season, I'll be a proud man. I'll be a very proud man. Respectfully, Mr. Butler. But no, Niko was in his bag today, particularly in that first half. We saw some minutes of Niko at the 5 today. He was just getting loose. It made sense because the Pacers don't really have that dominant center at the 5.
Exactly. This is the team to try it against.
Exactly. And it was perfect for him because he really got out to run. Like this is Niko's favorite game. He wants to play the Pacers 82 games a season because they allow him to be him more than any other team. And he showed it. Luckily enough, he's going to get him again on Sunday.
Yeah. Frankie, you know, you see a different, more comfortable. Oh, here we go. This is Mr. Jimmy Butler with the face mask. And he's just trying to show up Niko, you know?
He can't give him anything.
No, he really can't. Can't let him have anything. Can't let him have one night.
Moose, but that's exactly why you could tell they're like brother relationships. That's exactly what an older brother would do.
Absolutely.
I don't give a. I'm going to overshadow the fuck out of you tonight.
For sure. And he's going to look better doing it too.
Exactly.
Shout out my older brother. Fuck you. Yeah. Frankie, we were talking about it. Obviously with Niko, it's just a different game when you're letting him run the break and go out in the transition and running. But I think the same can be said for Bam Adebayo because for me, that really was the difference in the second half with his offensive game. It was the fact that he was actually getting out there and running and being more aggressive. What did you see in that switch from the first half to the second half that made Bam all of a sudden just, you know, ignitable?
Well, a big part of it is just the bunny started falling.
Right.
Like though that's been an issue all season. You know, we talked about this before, but you know, Bam usually goes through one of these slumps. It's usually in January when he's exhausted from being the only one who played almost every game so far. This time we got it early. But you know, most of it's been just in his head, missing bunnies, bad shot selection. I loved the aggressiveness and the playmaking early. I love the defense getting out on the break, getting easy shots. He was looking for others, and it was creating easy looks. But most of all, he's playing with Duncan. That's been an issue all season. He had there was one point recently where he had played 7 more minutes with Duncan than he had played with Josh. Josh just got healthy, and that's just you're handicapping one of your best players by not playing to his strengths because you know this works. I'm sorry, their team is struggling. He's struggling. Go to what works. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. And that's just get him the spots, easy rolls to the rim. try to dunk shit. Stop trying to fucking throw the hook up every time. I love when Bam is trying to be aggressive, get to the line, team high 9 times. Like I mentioned before, but being active, and I love that today. I know we talked about Miles Turner. He really does hate this motherfucker because he brought the defensive
like fuck your Legos.
Tonight.
Yeah,
he said fuck your Legos. He said fuck you for Team USA.
Well, speaking of Team USA too, because I didn't throw this in the chat, but it is something that I've been wondering. Do you think the fact that his slow start coming off Team USA is even more in his head? Because I genuinely feel like guys, when they're coming back from Team USA, they're kind of like more in a rhythm. They're a little bit more hyped up. They're just ready to go into the season. A lot of them come out, with a little bit of extra pep in their step. Bam struggling out of the gate. I feel like it really just kind of set him off on the wrong foot, if you will. Do you think that was playing in his head, Lou?
Yeah. I think it's a combination of that playing in his head and 2 playing alongside him on the court. Like these combination of things, like Terry, him getting all these minutes with Terry and Terry's which is, we won. I'm not going to be mean to Terry Rozier today. The best thing that happened is he played a season low in minutes. But I digress. But just Bam kind of like learning the new offense, trying to get comfortable at first. We've seen ever since the Sacramento game, they stopped going so much 5 out and they started almost going to him as a hub. And it's really opened up his passing game. He, 5, 6, 4, 7 assists in 5 of the last 6 games. Like he's crossed over 5 assists. So these little things alongside with him, just, like Franky said, the bunnies started hitting today. And when the bunnies hit and he just flows and exudes confidence, the threes fall. It's
that was a pleasant surprise too in the fourth quarter to see him actually initiating the shot and going for it and feeling comfortable doing it, because he's been pressing on that shot all year, Franky, and we've been saying that he's going to be shooting the 3-point shot, but it hasn't felt natural. Tonight in the fourth quarter, it felt a part of his game. Yeah,
he's kind of started it, trying to find his flow and his spot on the court and within the flow of the offense without trying to do too much. We saw very early he was very timid, and that doesn't help the team. Like I'm not a big fan of heavily involving Bam the scorer in general, but he was way too much. He can't be the 5th option on offense every night. Not for this team, not the way that they're built. But then he went way too far into the Bam wheel, was trying to do too much and be too decisive with his shooting. Like he was predetermining reads. He's like, I catch you. He's not reading the defense. Double team is coming. He's still shooting that shit over instead of kicking it to the open guy. That's why I like the last few games. He's getting his assists up, making easier plays. There's still pockets where he's still missing a couple reads. There was one I remember in the fourth where he swung at a Duncan, even though Tyler was right next to him, wide open. Yep. And plays like that he's just not.
I always notice when the ball does not go to Tyler.
Yeah, we know. you just want to see a drip drop,
Always. Listen, for as great as Bam was, there was a point that I do think, as much as it's going to hurt when Jimmy comes back now trying to figure out the offense with both of them, I do think this little stretch now without Jimmy Bam needs to really take advantage of this and find his offensive rhythm, because once Jimmy comes back in, it's going to be another reshuffling of the pecking order. But right now, in my opinion, all these games without Jimmy should just be about Bam getting comfortable, getting into the flow of the offense, and kind of getting into his stride, which we so desperately need if we really want to take off in the second half of the year. And, of course, if we want to get this elusive NBA Cup.
No, yeah, especially with that NBA Cup. And another person, Moose, who I think we got to show some damn love to. It's in the name.
Kevin Love.
I
wanted to get there next. I'm so glad you took it there. Please, by all means, praise the man that was desperately missed.
Dude, Kevin Love needs to play 12 minutes a game minimum, and they're all in the third quarter. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. He's the vaccine. He's what fixes it. The turd disease is done when Kevin's on the floor. How about the connection with Hamish too? Finding him a couple times on the outlet, on leak outs, and just hitting everybody. Like, QB1 in down here in South Florida for sure is Kevin Love. But just 12 minutes, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals.
Yeah.
what the QB and cornerback one? Like this was insane.
You really can't quantify everything that Kevin Love brings to this team. And I don't mean just on the court, because as you saw tonight, it's sensational. He helps out in so many different ways. But Franky, it's also the kind of presence that he is in the locker room. Think about it. You just lost Udonis Haslem. And yeah, he's around and all that. But in that locker room, you don't have that veteran presence on every single road trip. I think Kevin Love stepping into that role and even giving you more, let's be honest, than Udonis was on the offensive end as well. It's an amazing trade-off. I don't want him to go anywhere. Let him sit on that bench until he wants to drift off into the sunset. Because it just feels like Kevin Love and the Miami Heat is such a great fit.
Yep. I agree, man. He just brings that freshness to the locker room still, because he's still a different voice from what they've had, and it feels like he's been here for a while.
Don't do that to me, Coulter.
Oh no!
I love you, D.
Moose talking about you, D, like he's an absent father.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Listen, I love you, D. Shout out UD40 at the Flowery. That's my guy.
He's
I
just
know
not
that
around anymore.
He is a present father. But listen, like on visitations, like sometimes the mom goes away on the weekends. It's a road trip, baby.
I've seen practice clips. UD is still there with a practice jersey. He is a sicko. They need to get him away.
on where. Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin still, it feels like he's been here for a while, but it's still like a season and a half total. Yeah. Like it hasn't been that long, and he still brings a lot of positivity and keeps it loose. Like, I love what he was tweeting out the other day about Kyle Singler, who posted something very scary, and he was like calling out for Kyle, his loved ones, yes, and close people, not to bring it to a dark mood, but just to show you what kind of people, what kind of person Kevin is.
You need guys like that. Absolutely.
And yeah, like the Heat locker room sometimes can get like, I feel like there's a lot of guys with a lot of pressure on it. And Kevin is an experienced Hall of Famer, champion. Like he can bring a lot of perspective, and the guy who himself has dealt with fitting in and fitting out. And he's doing a great job just bringing the energy for those guys. And but also on the court, man, he still has a lot to provide. Was one of the more effective players off the bench last year, and he's doing a great job filling in as a starter, even for spot minutes. He's way better than fucking Luke Babbitt, what we've had before as in that role. And he brings the physicality. He can let Bam roam a little bit versus certain bigs, while still providing the 5-out spacing and knowing when to post up on smaller guys, outlet passing. I love what he brings to the transition and pace. And he's not a guy demanding touches either. He fits. He's like, I'm gonna be cool if you need me to put up shots tonight, drop dimes, rebounds, whatever. I'm gonna be that guy tonight.
And honestly, Franky, to your point, it's so true. The Miami Heat, the culture, it is such a pressure cooker. They are literally trying to poke the bear every single second to keep you agitated. So you do need somebody that is focusing on like mental health and positivity to just lighten up the locker room, to bring it back to UD. Actually, there was the Dwayne Wade podcast episode that they did together, which was phenomenal. Highly recommend to everybody. He even made that comment where it was like, listen, the Miami Heat locker room, after a while, you get sick of everything because it is just nonstop grind. So Kevin Love, yes, beneficial on and off the court. Lou, whatever the fuck you want to talk about, take it.
What a fucking Terry Rozier
trying to get to 30 minutes, right?
Nah. I think something that needs to be talked about is just like the minute distribution today. It went from, Terry obviously getting 30, 35 minutes to all of a sudden, Josh playing more than him, Highsmith playing more than him, Duncan playing the same amount of minutes.
Surprising. Yeah.
Like, Terry was a plus 11 today, but it's been too much Terry. Like, let's be honest. And it's been not enough some of these other guys, and these other guys came right in, fit in. I think Jaime is doing a great job, like, with the limited amount of looks he's getting at the basket, but he's getting high quality looks. He's creating pressure on the rim, which is
5 assists for Jaime too.
Yeah, like again, he's just fitting into his role, and it's very interesting. And I'm curious going forward what this is going to be in terms of is this something that we're going to see night in and night out? Is like the leash on on Terry be short. The leash on even Josh Richardson be short.
Please.
Yeah,
Well, if it's going to be short on anyone, I think it's going to be Jay Rich, to be honest. I think they're going to exhaust every option to try and make the Terry Rozier fit, you know? Tori Miami says, look at this plus minus for Indiana. Goddamn, Mathurin minus 25, Siakam minus 25, Turner minus 29, Shepard minus 22, Halliburton minus 25. Wow, that is really bad. Meanwhile, Terry Rozier plus 11.
Good enough. Good enough.
Josh Richardson plus 2. We'll take it.
Season highs right here. Season highs. But I think
I thought the same thing just heard.
Mother and what?
Bro, I don't know. You think I watch the Pacers? I don't know.
Mother.
I think we'd be remiss not to give Tiff some shouts out right here. With
yes, please, absolutely. Let's give Tiff her flowers, and most importantly, Hamish. Incredible. Let's keep him as the starter for the rest of the year, please.
Please.
You know, she was joking around in the chat, asking about, okay, so when Jimmy comes back, who's moving to the bench? I said Jimmy. Now, that's also my ulterior motives here at stake. But Franky, answer the question. When Jimmy comes back, who are you moving to the bench?
Terry.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, right? Right, Lou?
100%, dude. It shouldn't even be a fucking discussion at this point.
I think truthfully it'll probably be Kevin, but it should be Terry. Well, it'll probably be Kevin or Haywood, but it should be Terry. I think
it would be a massive slap in the face to everything you preach if you're going to take out Haywood Highsmith from the starting lineup now. Yeah, I genuinely do, because
100%.
You're seeing now the benefits of it, and it would be like spitting in his face to be like, yeah, you changed a lot of shit for us, but no, get back there because we got scary Terry trying to jack up a step back three.
You know, we talked about Franky like during the offseason, like, you know, is Terry the right fit? And, you know, like, oh, they traded the first. Oh, you know, like he's due $25 million per year. Like, he's not going to go to the bench for some of these guys. You know who he has to go to the bench for? When Jimmy Butler comes back. Like, he can't get upset. Oh, he's taking my starting spot. Because he has to look around. He has to notice, like, Highsmith has been one of the Heat's most consistent players. Kevin Love, since he's came back, has been one of the Heat's most consistent players. Like, it's just that simple. Those two guys aren't going anywhere, especially not now. And it gives you just some fucking size out there. You know, hopefully it's fucking Terry Rozier. I pray to God it's not anybody else. Just please. Just do away with it.
Franky, you want to read that?
Easy Money Jovic in the chat says, let's not become prisoners of the moment. Thanasis is the goal.
Listen, if I was having my way, Thanasis would be the goal right now, because this is a loaded draft. But we're not going to go there because we're excited about tonight's win, Franky.
Carla Tiana says, I'm telling you guys, Nancy Terrigan.
He's not wrong.
That's gonna be the name of the episode, Nancy Terrigan.
Oh, I love that. G's gonna love that. G's gonna be like, what the fuck were you guys talking about?
Oh man, yeah, but it's just, you know, nothing against Terry. It's just he duplicates the worst parts of Hero, and they need that defensive.
What the fuck do you mean by that?
I don't know if you heard this, but Lou said that Tyler saw Terry playing together, and his shot selection, and he's just like, I play like that. This is awful basketball. And
you know what? And I applaud Tyler for learning. It doesn't matter how you learn, boo-boo, as long as you gain the knowledge.
Hey, but if we're being honest, if that's what really happened, is that worth? Is that worth the first round pick?
100%.
I would give up 5
round picks. Send two.
This is the 5 reasons flip for
like, yeah,
top 5 Heat trade of all time.
Yeah, Terry Rozier coming to Miami. Finally, Tyler Hero saw himself in the mirror. He said, God damn, I'm shooting that shit.
I gotta switch it up. Yeah.
He said, damn, bitch, you shoot like this.
Damn, step back. Hey, fuck it. It's Trash Terry hour. We gotta do one of these segments of show. We were up by 19 points, 89-70.
Oh, I know.
Subs come out. Terry dribbles down with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dribble, step back, contested too. 9-0 run in 1 minute and 30 seconds.
I know. I got
20
so
seconds.
excited. I thought the Pacers had life. But I listen. I will say this because I agree. Like Scary Terry has been fucking very scary. His minutes have felt like hours. Shout out to someone in the chat said that. I apologize. I forgot who it was. But to him going to the bench, do you guys really think he would have an issue with it? Because I wholeheartedly don't think he would have an issue with it.
Nah,
Not
I
if
don't think so.
not if it's Jimmy.
Well, not even for Jimmy. I just think that he wants to be here so bad. He's got his money.
Wayne did. That's his guy.
Right. There's nothing that he's necessarily playing for in the sense of like, I need to hit these numbers. I need to do this. Like he just wants to be here and a part of the team. And I think a guy like that would be way more receptive to a bench role. And especially given the situation now when you take a step back and you actually look at it, like, yeah, he should be on the bench. Why does it look like Moose is recording from the other side of Lou's side? I don't know, man. My sign looks a little like it's more going on.
It's the light right there in the corner.
The corner light right there.
Oh,
it's reflecting.
This is
that. That's good.
That's
not a wall.
hilarious.
It's
Red is
Listen.
crazy in Miami. They're sharing inefficiency.
Gotta make a living, all right? You think G's paying me a lot of money to say drip drop every night? No, fuck that.
Keep it down, Moose.
Sorry, guys.
He said I'm paying draft fee, and you guys didn't even talk about where. Come on.
Because Jared said, what happened to the heroes? The heroes are in the cabinet. I wasn't really prepared tonight. I wasn't sure what we were going to do.
That's the asbestos in the apartment.
the heroes.
Oh,
all
man.
right, guys. We got 2 minutes left.
Dos
Whatever you wanna say. Go for it.
minutos. Let's give you talked about Jaime a little bit. Let's give him and Highsmith. They deserve more flowers, honestly, because they really brought the extra energy. Highsmith 6 for 6 from the field. A lot of people complain about his minutes because he doesn't bring a lot offensively. He knows his fucking role. He knows how to space the floor in cutting. He's one of the best cutters on the team. Doesn't get in people's way when he cuts, and he clears out the lanes. He can hit the corner three, hits the spot up 2 for 2 for tonight, and he plays fucking defense, man. There's a very strong case. He is the best defender on the team, Lou. And you were talking about it like in the chat. First team all defense. We got to start it.
No, he needs to be in consideration. We need to push this. We need to push this shit hard because I generally think he's probably a top 2, top 3 wing defender in basketball. Like him guarding down, 1 through 3, he might be one of the best players in all of basketball doing that. Like the amount of disruption that he causes on the dribble. Today, he only had 1 steal. He probably should have had like 3 or 4. There were so many balls that he kicked and the Pacers picked back up, or like he forced the guy to dribble off his foot. Just man,
situation.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Like generally, I'm so fucking happy for Highsmith. It's another one. We got to give credit to Miami for actually giving him the contract that they gave him because it's a steal of a contract. Like $5 million a year is a steal of a contract.
He is already outperforming his paycheck.
Bingo. Already outperforming his paycheck. Yeah, like they said, Highsmith over Caleb was legitimately a godsend. Let's think Caleb's
hate the way it happened,
agent.
But I agree. I think we all agree that was the way to go. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good because God damn, what were they cooking with that
offer? Nah, horrible offer, but
I agree.
It worked. It worked in the end.
And I agree, by the way. Haywood Highsmith, probably the best defender on our team. It should absolutely be in consideration for first team All NBA. But you're batshit crazy if you think he's actually going to get first team All NBA because nobody outside of
not All NBA.
No, All NBA.
Whatever.
Did you see his minutes today? 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and Jaime, man, since he got back from the stomach issue, he's been playing a lot better. Shooting the ball.
People.
Huh?
Bro, have you ever felt the relief after taking a cacadera? Feels great. Feel lighter.
You just gotta get that.
Jump higher.
Yeah,
that man went to Mexico City.
He was eating authentic, bro.
Authentic. He ate too much. He had too good of a time.
They said ¿Cómo se llama? Jaime.
Hey,
Jaime.
You know what happened? They started feeling comfortable and they left the ice in the water. That's definitely what happened. That's
Jaime's name
100%
is
what happened.
Jamie. It's not Jaime.
Jamie.
He knows no Spanish, man. Like, I was so disappointed when I went to the scrimmage and they
He was
asked him.
probably like 9 years old when he found out his name was actually Jaime and not Jamie. He was like, "What?"
Let's said Jaime had a bad case of the scary Terry.
Yeah, for sure.
It is crazy that we get a Mexican on the team, and Chris Bosch from the fucking intro was talking in Spanish, and Jaime can't speak Spanish.
Can't say a single word.
Dude, Jaime didn't know what K-Bola meant. He was like, K-Bola?
To be fair, that's a Cuban
I'm a
thing.
baller.
He said, I think Josh Christopher was the other one. I think Josh Christopher knew more than he did at that moment in time. I was surprised. I was bamboozled.
That's probably because Josh is ready to play in Puerto Rico.
Listen,